McCaffrey split out wide to the right. Newton takes the snap, and he is in for a Panthers touchdown.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you're listening this or watching it. Hey, man, what's going on, guys? I know it's been a week and a day. To be honest, it's been busy. It's been a busy month, right? The whole last month, Obviously, we're in a new month. Last week's super busy. Yesterday, super busy. Didn't even get to draw anything. But I did draw something last week. But I just didn't get to do the podcast, right? I didn't get to come here and talk. I didn't get to say anything. I didn't even get to edit a video, right? It felt very strange, as I started this project, this, what they call it, a man-child, whatever they call it. But yeah, it's very super busy, But I'm back. Hopefully we could get back on track next week and the week after and week after and week after and just get this thing bigger and bigger or just keep on doing it. This is my passion. This is my love right now. Doing this little podcast. Or my girlfriend would call this. She was calling it. It's not a podcast. She was saying it's journal. She calls it a journal because I'm just here talking about my life experiences, stuff in that nature. So I understand where she comes in saying this is like a journal, not a podcast. But hey, I like it, and I'm going to continue doing it and being back on track. Hopefully next week I could be back on track. Or maybe I just might change the days just to help me out because, as I said, I'm a family man. I'm a person with a bunch of friends. I'm a busy person. Everybody wants my time, and it's even hard for myself to get time for myself, because it's draining. Life is draining. Life is really, really, really draining, to be honest. But yeah, today's topic is about belief or believing, right? The person who I draw today, as I said, Adi and Medadi. So I drawed Vibes Cartel and I drew Kai Cenat. Because those two people are, if you look at it or if you see their story or, I've been following them, those two are just the biggest believers, right? They believed in themselves, right? They believed in the process. They believed in their self-worth. And, two big phenoms, as you call them, come together and make the podcast or live stream, I should say, on Kai's channel. It's two clashes of two titans, respectfully, in like the reggae dance hall and like Jamaican entertainment. Vice Cartel's the king, right? He's been saying he's the king. He hasn't even been saying he's the king. Everybody's saying he's the king. That's the whole debate what Beanie Man's, very mad about. But it's true. As he came out of jail, he was running things. When he was in jail, he was running things. Kai Cenat, he's been running this streaming thing for a while now, and like he's so huge, right? Even people like Kevin Hart even saying like this guy, he's huge. Like he has numbers as like a television show. People are watching him, and it's true. So yeah. So last week when I draw this, I just had to be like, I'm gonna draw these two phenoms, right? These two big people, and they finally came together, and like I think a lot of people were waiting for it. And I didn't get to see all the clips, but it was funny. It was good. Even Spice, shout out to Spice, was there too, doing her thing. The next big queen of dancehall, right? But these guys are two believers, right? Kai started with nothing. Like, he started doing his streaming thing, and, he believed in himself, and he kept on pushing. He kept on pushing. And the thing with beliefs, like, if you believe it's going to happen, it will happen. Right, because you have to start believing into things, right? Like, you have to believe in like, oh, I'm gonna be successful in this podcast. I'm gonna be successful. Like, I believe I could do this because I've done this before, and you get good results. But if you think negative, like, oh, I don't think I could do this, and I only have one person watching. I only have two people watching. When you start thinking like that, you just give up. But if you believe like, yo, if I keep on pushing, I might get a next person, and I might get a next person, and you keep on believing, you keep on pushing, and you see one person, two person, three person, you be like, yo, this is very powerful, and belief is a very powerful thing. And even in Vibes Cartel's case too, it's pretty crazy. He was in there for what, 13 years, and you know that would break somebody, right? With he's in there for 13. He was in there for 13 years, and he was supposed to be in there for 35 years, right? He had the Lyme disease, where you saw when he first came out, he couldn't really talk. You know, he was struggling to talk. His head was big as a balloon. They were calling him bobblehead Vibes Cartel. You know, and it's crazy. Like, a lot of people would be broken, right? I'm in jail for 35 years. I'm freaking super sick where I'm on my deathbed. But this man believed. His belief was so strong. When he came out, he started running, right? He started taking care of his health. Because you saw when he first came out, you know, you couldn't really talk. He wasn't really moving around like that, right? Even when he went to like the club and stuff, he all fainted and people were worrying about his health. People thought he wasn't gonna perform Freedom Street, the concert on New Year's. Like, I had an argument with this guy in Walmart, and he was telling me about how Burna Boy is bigger than Vibes Cartel. And I was like, hell no. Like, you know, big shouts to Burna Boy. You know what I mean? Respect in his own craft. And like, yeah, he's big. But Vibes Cartel? Come on now. He sold out the Bakersfield 2 times, back-to-back days. And he could have done that in jail. You know what I mean? Yeah, the health thing was for sure. But like, he still came out looking good. He didn't faint. He was singing. He was MCing or whatever you want to call it. He was looking good for someone who was in jail for 13 years, who had Lyme disease, right? I feel like he outperformed a lot of these artists who don't have none of those, right? Or none of those blocks. But it's just the belief. That's why he came on and he's just like, yo, I'm doing my thing. He said he set up the Freedom Street in jail. He believed. He knew he was going to come out. He knew he was going to come out one day, and he knew he was going to rock the world, right? He knew he was going to come on and shell down the place, right? And, like, he didn't have a visa to go to the U.S., right, because of all this stuff. And, look, he came out. He believed, like, yo, I'm going to start doing good. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to put everything in this belief of I'm going to put the work in and get it done. And what he did, he put the work in and got it done. He went to the Grammys, met Kai. He sold out New York. You know, he's doing a whole tour in the U.S., got his visa back. He's making all this money. So believing in yourself is a very powerful thing. And, like, you have to do it. If you don't do it, you know what I mean, you're just going to end up sleeping on the bed, depressed, you know, regretting, oh, you know, I could have done this, I could have done that. No. What you got to do is believe, like, yo, I could get this done, you know? Like, I don't really need much. Like, even my podcast, like, I don't need much. I already had a mic. I already had a stand. I just needed some couple other stuff. Got a little light from the dollar store. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make this thing happen because I like drawing, right? And I got back into drawing. And I believed in my talent of drawing. Because before I used to be like, I don't really draw that good. Like, I don't think I'm that good of a drawer. Like, even the stuff I do is, like, it's pretty whack. That's how I used to think of it. And people be like, yo, I like your work. It's really good. Like, you know, like Dwayne will tell me, like, looks like you're making, like, everybody looks like animation characters, and that's cool. Like, I like that. And I thought about it, I was like, yo, why don't I believe in my talent and start pushing myself? And that's why you see me pushing myself. As I said, I started drawing Dragon Ball Z, right? And I started drawing anime characters. Now I'm drawing actual live people, and I'm trying to get better and better. Just like last week, I drawed Uncle Phil, right? Was it last? Oh, sorry. 2 weeks ago, I drawed Uncle Phil, or 3 weeks ago, I draw Uncle Phil, right? And I draw One Piece the other day, and now I'm drawing 2 characters on one page, and that I never used to do that. So it's my belief of, like, I'm actually pretty good at this drawing thing. I need to push myself, and just like Vibes Cartel, just like Kai Cenat, just like Spice, you believe and you're gonna start doing stuff. Right? Belief is the strongest thing you could ever have. Because once you start believing, you start pushing. You start doing some stuff you don't even know you could do. I know these days it's like super hard because like the economy is so shit. There's no jobs out here. Like a lot of stuff is not happening for a lot of people. But it's just like still like, do you just sit down and be like, oh, this stuff is happening. I can't get nothing done. No, you start believing. If you don't believe, you're not gonna do anything. You're just gonna be like, shut the hell up and start believing in yourself, believing your talent. You know what I mean? If you want to start that business and you know you could do it and you know you're good at it and you know you could build on top of it and get better, then start building and get better. You know what I mean? Start believing in that. And once you start believing, things will start happening. Trust me, things will start happening because I start believing in certain things and boom, this is me here now. Like, there's a lot of things I didn't be like, oh man, my Lexus, I'm never gonna, I'm not gonna swap it to manual because it was automatic before. This is not gonna happen. Oh, this is too hard, you know. And my good friend Sean came around and was like, buddy, you have changed brakes before. You have done this downstairs in the garage before. What's going on? And I said, yeah, and I start believing, right? I was like, yo, that ain't nothing. I've took off bolts before and put bolts back on. And that's what happened. I took out the transmission, put on the automatic manual transmission, and the car started running perfectly. And I was just like, man, that self-doubt right there, that when I stopped believing in myself, I was just like, I stayed stagnant. I couldn't do it. When I started believing in myself, it just came off easy. Everything just flew off and went back on. And I was just like, wow, this only took me 2 days. You know, I'm thinking, oh, it's going to take me a couple months. But that strong belief, you know, and believing in yourself, like Vibes Cartel and Kai Sinet, you know. But yeah, you got to believe, you know, and things will get done, you know, or have belief in something or in yourself, right? Big shouts out to my girlfriend, Tamara. Her birthday passed on Saturday. It wasn't as festive as last year. Last year we did a whole 90s year theme, and it was pretty fun. We were turning up and we were having a lot of fun. And we were seeing the memories because, you know, on Snapchat, you have the memories every year. But yeah, big shout outs to her. And I'm very proud of her because she plays this game on her phone where, like, you know, you have the numbers and you color stuff in. And we found the exact same thing at the dollar store. And she's like, I really want us to do this. I don't really like painting, but I was like, you know what? I would do the painting thing. I don't think I don't love it or like it. I'm not good at it. And that's the next thing. Again, as I said, I need to start believing like, yo, I could draw. I start coloring. It's starting to look, it looks good. Or starting to look good. So I'm gonna start painting. I'm gonna really start painting with her. She really enjoys it. She painted a draft. It looked phenomenal. She did a real good job, and I'll put it up, make you guys see, you know. So happy belated birthday to my girlfriend Tamara. But yeah, this is the end of the podcast. The song of the week was George Banton, The Water is Troubled, Melody. That's one of my biggest tracks, like gospel tracks. My mom used to listen to this when I was a kid. Like, she never used to listen to dance or old school reggae or nothing. She used to just have this guy on repeat, you know. And sometimes you just need the gospel music to uplift you, and it gives you a power too, to be honest. But yeah, that's the song of the week. And hopefully I get back on track, or I'll change the days and I'll let you guys know what's going on. My TikTok is out. It's the same name, Drawkinglo. So you guys check out the socials. I got Instagram, got Facebook, and YouTube as always, because this is what's going to be posted. I'm soon going to post this on Apple Podcasts, hopefully soon, or even Spotify, hopefully. I'm working on all these things. As I said, I'm a busy camper. But with that, you know, as my daddy says, Vibes Cartel, and me out.